Stay tuned after the credits for a sneak peek at the second summer of Sonichu. The following video contains scenes of violence which may be disturbing to some audience members. Viewer discretion is advised. This bad review was made possible in part through the support of backers on Patreon. To support bad reviews, visit www.patreon.com/DStecks. Thank you for your support.
Why didn't anybody take a shot? They were supposed to shoot him?
Where'd they go?
Split up.
Who are these guys?
Torchwood, donated from the government.
Well, they probably got an armory around here somewhere.
Yeah.
We have to go find it.
But they really want to kill you, so it's probably me.
Now this is what I'm talking about. Like I mentioned earlier, all of the characters in this film are completely loathsome except for Billi. You've got Gordy the Goat, who is the most flailing attempt to create a kid-favorite character since Jar Jar Binks.
There's no one quite like you in this hood.
Get it? It's funny because the blacks. Then there's insufferable fat American lady. She likes pie and always yells.
Hello? Have you got any of those Mrs. Plumper's pies with blueberries?
Now, I've done some research here, and this character is played by a woman named Ruby Wax, who is an American-British comedian, and from my brief reading, this character may be based on her comic persona. I could be totally wrong. If you know, please leave a comment, which I will promptly ignore. Then there's the evil police officer, who is evil because of reasons. He hates the Highlands and wants to get the last beaver because then he can leave. Except no, he wants to get Bessie to protect the Highlands. Except no, he wants to get Bessie because he thinks it will get him a promotion 5 years after the fact. He's just fucking evil, okay? Then there's Mutant Banjo Duckman. Then there's Bessie Boo, who spends the whole film crying.
I'm all alone now. Oh goodness, please wake up from this bad dream. Don't leave me! Give me your hand! Please! I'm over here! Help! I'm here, Billy! Reach for me! Reach
Then there's Vicky the Duck. She's a sassy black lady who is a duck.
Here I am again in the cold, high lands of Caturness.
She breaks the fourth wall. Am I the only one who finds it really troubling that this movie's attempts at comic relief characters usually involve making animals talk like African Americans, and that's the joke? And it's just weird that it keeps coming up in this movie that's supposed to be Scotland, Scotland, Scotland. I'm from New Orleans, and I have a corkscrew vagina. Then there's Tony Turner, Patty's... oh shit, was she your sister or cousin? I'm not fucking rewatching the movie to find out. She's sort of a terrible person.
This suitcase, I am so heavy. I just don't have the strength that I used to.
Yeah, you're tired. Make the 80-year-old man carry your luggage. She's supposed to be very attractive. Then there's the Admiral and the Baron, two shitty, ineffectual characters that could have been one character with no effect on the plot. Then there's Jake, who I already told you about. This is the point where you start to realize that there's a dozen characters in this movie and almost none of them contribute anything to the plot, and a few of them do literally fucking nothing. The Admiral, Jake's mom, the butler, the Admiral's family, and Tony literally do not affect the plot in any way. It almost feels like this was intended as a pilot for a TV series, introducing the whole cast, but nothing I've ever read points to that being the case. Everything I've read, though, does point to this being a very first effort by the creatives in charge, the husband and wife team of Sasha and Tessa Hartman. Which brings us to problem number 3. Problem number 3, never show anyone your first movie. Now, this is the part of the video where I make damaging claims against two individuals, based on an unverified internet comment, and these two individuals live in the UK, which has notoriously generous libel laws, but fuck 'em, they made Sir Billi. If I get sued for this, my legal defense will be those words exactly. Fuck 'em, Your Honor, they made Sir Billi. To avoid any accusations of undue inferences, I will now read you the comment in its entirety. Unfortunately, I have worked on this thing, and I know it will haunt me for the rest of my life. I can only say that it was made by some very talented people, and you may not believe this, but there were some amazing artists who worked on this film, and most of them now work in big feature animated studios, VFX studios, and game studios all around the world. The problem is that this thing was directed and written by someone who doesn't have a clue about filmmaking, and most importantly had no respect for people working for him. His formula for writing this was, hey, let's copy shot by shot some scenes from the old James Bond movies, mix it with some bad jokes that make myself laugh but nobody else finds funny, add some boring lines and dialogues that don't flow and don't make sense, add some cliche scenes ripped off from other movies, and finish it with some very unappealing characters, poor animation, and bad lighting. Please note that Tessa Hartman is credited as the sole screenwriter, so referring to the writer as he is an error. The art director, Sasha Hartman, was simply a joke, someone with no experience whatsoever, who is essentially an I-know-it-all kind of person who wouldn't listen to other people's ideas, critiques, or suggestions, which were always spot on. As you can obviously see, he had some terrible taste in pretty much everything, and it was either his way or they would show you the door. And that's what made this film look so bad. If they had listened to the artist and let them do things the right way, this film would have looked 100 times better, at least. Sure, we still couldn't have done anything to fix the poorly written story and the bad jokes, but at least we would have done something to make it look better. The only good thing that came out of this was the friends I have made, and I think everyone who worked on this would agree with me. I am very surprised that this even made it to DVD. I did not see that coming. Anyways, apologies for the rant, but I wanted to share at least some of the background story behind this. And really, once you know that, everything else kind of falls into place. Odds are pretty good you know some people exactly like this. No idea what they're doing, but convinced they're the real experts. Of course, your local shit show restaurateurs never convinced Sean Connery to bankroll a feature film to the tune of £15 million. And that brings us to problem number 4. Problem number 4, Sir Sean Connery. Sean Connery is credited in this film as Sir Sean Connery, which, first of all, no, you don't do that. Richard Attenborough didn't do that. You don't get to. And secondly, it speaks to one of this film's weirder issues. It bills itself as a love letter to Scotland, but what it really is a love letter to Sean Connery. I'm sorry, Sir Sean Connery. Now, I don't know Sean Connery, so I'm just basing this off of my general impression of the guy, but he's never struck me as a vain person. He hits women and isn't sorry for it, but he doesn't seem like the guy to commission an animation studio to make him a vanity piece cartoon.
You did an interview in which you said, it's not the worst thing to slap a woman now and then. As I remember, you said you don't do it with a clenched fist, it's better to do it with an open hand. Yeah, remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I didn't love that.
I haven't changed my opinion.
In fact, one of the things you should know about Sean Connery is that he hates James Bond and hated playing him, so it's very unlikely that the constant lame references to Bond movies were his idea, especially the references to Bond movies that he did not star in. That was Moore, you stupid hacks. That was fucking Pierce Brosnan. You might as well reference the 60s Batman show with Schwarzenegger one-liners. At one point, the Red October shows up, and Billy breaks the fourth wall in case you didn't get the joke, because the random fucking appearance of a Soviet fucking submarine threw you for a loop.
Oh my, that sub sure reminds me of another adventure.
Mostly, though, the film sticks to lame background gags. Thunderball. Get it? It was the title of a Bond movie, but now it makes no sense. Maybe the most onerous tribute to Bond is the film's title sequence, featuring a song by, I shit you not, Shirley Bassey, who also sounds pretty old, but that might just be because this is a fucking lullaby that thinks it's a Bond theme. You're probably not noticing this because you haven't seen the film, but all the animations you're seeing now are recycled from later in the film. The Maurice Binder Bond intros are intricately choreographed, visually striking, like they're the fucking James Bond title sequences. This is clips from later in the film. Lazy, boring, self-indulgent. Actually, those three words encapsulate the movie pretty well. And no, before you ask, there are no Highlander references. Which is sorta weird, this movie actually being set in the Highlands. Thank fuck there are no Zardoz references. In this scene, Billy chews out a rabbit for getting hit by his car.
Bunny, watch out! Bunny, what the devil do you think you're doing? You nearly caused an accident. You know that?
In this scene, Billy decides that the most useful thing he could be doing now, while Bessie is in mortal danger, is to antagonize a police officer.
Hey, you over there! Hey. Yes, you! In the miserable outfit.
What?
Come here. I've heard about you, and I'd like a word with you.
Yeah, what do you want?
Now listen here. I find you odd, strange even, and my gut tells me that you are indeed up to no good. So I'll say this only once. Cataness is my town, actually a village. Anyone who does any harm to someone or anything in this village will have me to answer to. Do I make myself clear? I'm not finished yet. I suggest if your business is not for the good of Cataness, that you leave right now, son. Are you understanding me?
Problem number 5, the art. Sir Billy's art style is, well, let's call it obviously a team effort. I'm going to start with the positives, because I like being positive whenever I can. A lot of the background art in this movie is gorgeous. There are a couple of scenery porn shots that make wonderful use of matte paintings to create a storybook feel, however short-lived that might be. And this might sound like a spurgy thing to comment on, but the vehicles look pretty decent, especially Billy's Jeep. They are the only part of this movie that does not look like a PS2 game. Which brings us to the characters. I'm going to put this as brutally honestly as possible. The character design in this film is sub-video brincado. I went there. All of the human characters are viscerally ugly to look at. Every one of them. They've all got potato heads, googly eyes, and gigantic, disgusting mouths full of chiclet teeth. They all look like terrified fish. If there was a human animatronic in Five Nights at Freddy's, this is what it would look like. I cannot understate how relentlessly repulsive these characters are to look at. Look at Tony again. That is supposed to be a sexy lady. That is what blow-up dolls look at when they want to feel desirable. Problem number 5, the tone. Sir Billy has serious issues with tone, which is part of what gives it off as an amateur effort. Basically, the movie will randomly veer into serious dark territory, then pull back to Disney hijinks without warning. In this clip, Gordy the Goat is propelled from a jeep, flying high into the air, and then lands on his head, making a funny. In this clip, Mom Bunny bumps her head on a submerged rock, which knocks her unconscious, and the film threatens the possibility of a spinal injury.
But I'm thinking that her hind legs might be paralyzed.
Oh no. Does that not mean that she could have broken her back?
Exactly that, son. If she can move her toes ever so slightly, there might be a chance of recovery. If not, there may be too much damage to the spinal cord.
I want you to watch this clip and just appreciate how tonally wrong it is. This would be pretty dark in any context, but especially in this, a film that wants to split the difference between the sincerity of Pixar and the humor of DreamWorks. To threaten a character with paraplegia has got to be deliberate attempt to get kids crying. And that's basically what you want out of a kids movie, isn't it? Emotional trauma. And before anybody makes a smart-ass comparison to Bambi's mom, the critical difference is that this is a completely incidental, throwaway scene, whereas the death of Bambi's mom is, the entire point of that film. Bambi is about loss of innocence. Sir Billi is about, fucking nothing at all. Even DreamWorks at its crassest usually still has some kind of point, some kind of theme or message. Shrek's theme is that you shouldn't judge someone by their physical appearance. When you boil it down, it's sort of a retelling of Beauty and the Beast, but with less domestic abuse. Getting even deeper, Shrek 2 is about how a lifetime of self-loathing doesn't get reversed by one person telling you you're worthwhile. It's about struggling with the anxiety of the voice in the back of your head that tells you she doesn't really want you, that it's all just a lie. That resonates with me, except in my case the voice in my head was right the entire time. I don't want to watch this fucking movie anymore. I just want to die.
Hello, I'm Daniel Steckley, investigative journalist. I'm here live from Mr. Booker's room, investigating the web crew. Are they or are they not a part of a secret doomsday cult? You'll find out on DStecks, on location.
I am so high, I can hear heaven. I am so high, I can hear heaven. Oh, but heaven, no heaven, don't hear me. And they say that a hero can save us. Not gonna stand here and wait. I'll hold on to the wings of the eagles. Watch as we all fly away. Someone told me love would all save us. But how can that be? Look what love gave us. A world full of killing and blood spilling, that world never came. And they say that a hero could save us. I'm not gonna stand here and wait. I'll hold on to the wings of the eagles. Watch as we all fly away.
I may be a dipshit, but I'm also a Time Lord.
Now that the world isn't ending, it's love that I'm sending to you. It isn't the love of a hero, and that's why I fear it won't do. And they say that a hero could save us. I'm not gonna stand here and wait. I'll hold on to the wings of the eagles. Watch as we all fly away. And they're watching us. They're watching us. as we all fly away.
I guess this is it.
And they're watching us. They're watching us as we all fly away. And they're watching us. They're watching us as we all fly away.
I guess this is it then. Shoot. Okay. Okay. Cut.
Everybody says that the living is easy. I can barely see 'cause my head's in the way. Tigers walk behind me. They are to remind me that I'm lost, but I'm not afraid. Oh, soul to soul, a kiss and a sigh. Sword in half by the passage of time. Oh, halfway home from a window you see chains and bars, but I am still free. Oh. People on the outside, I remember sweet times. This old rose is always in bloom. Everybody's happy to be a baby daddy. Stone love with nothing to lose. Oh, life is long if you give it away. So stay, don't go, 'cause I'm fading away. Soul to soul, between you and me. Chain me down, but I am still free. Now I can say those three little words, and every day I'm dreaming a word. Soul to soul, a kiss and a sigh, holding back the waters outside. Life is long if you give it away. So stay, don't go, 'cause I'm fading away. Soul to soul, between you and me. Chain me down, but I am still free.
Rebel, rebel, you're the toil and the trouble.